Hey, it's Coach. I'm with the coach, the GOAT. It's the Carl Williams. I'm with the GOAT of a coach. You know what we do?
Hey, what's good? Carla Harris, let's good. Another episode, another opportunity for us to be great. We appreciate y'all tuning in.
Absolutely, man. We got a fire guest for you guys. We're gonna bring her up in a few, but we want to just touch on a few subjects before we get started, man. Brittany Griner's birthday was yesterday. She turned 32. As all of you or some of you may know, she's still being detained in Russia, and hasn't made it back to the U.S. So we are constantly praying for her safe return, praying for her mental and everything. So we want to make sure we get BG back. Just be safe on U.S. grounds.
Yeah. Happy birthday to her. And yeah, everybody be safe out there. And yeah, hope we can get her back home safely. As I can imagine the mental toll is taking on her right now. So yeah, we definitely hope she can get back home.
Absolutely, man. See, the NBA season kicked off yesterday.
Let's go Heat.
Let the Heat play tonight at 7:30, right?
Right.
But man, did you see the bling? I'm talking about the
Woo,
hardware that Golden
woo.
State showing off. Your boy Steph Curry, I see him cooking, man.
Hey, they was cooking in the lab with that one. Hey, they was melting all kind of gold together for and putting that bling together. Yeah. They did it with that one. That's nice.
For
That's nice.
shit. So, hey,
Sure.
they got the best of the Lakers last night. LeBron in pursuit of passing Kareem for sure. What do you think is going to happen with that squad? Because it seems like they're picking up where they left off, which was not a good place.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand that move. Like, I really don't. This is my opinion. I really don't think Russell was like the right fit. I don't think that's the right fit.
He wasn't
Just
the guy.
no, he's not the guy.
Right.
He's not the guy for that. He's got to be to me. I don't think honestly, and no hard feelings, but I don't think he'll ever win a ring just because he's not that team player to me.
All
He
right.
shines alone. You think about all the teams he's been on. Like it was always a clash with the other elite players that were on that team. So I see him being a great player. He might put up great numbers, but he's not a championship player to me.
Okay. Respect. You know, I respect opinions. He hasn't proven it, so I can't say you're wrong.
Right. So right now you're proving me right.
But we got to talk hometown real quick, right? The Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins. All right, quarterback controversy or quarterback curse, because I be in all these fan groups and man, they be, I don't know if these people are fans. I don't know what to call them, but I'm on the brink of I'm on the brink of like I need to probably separate a little bit because I can't keep going through these
Figured.
emotional turmoil that's happening because they get me up, they get me down, and I'll be like, all right, we about to come back through, and then I get up again, but
Yeah.
I'm just tired of going down.
You know they've been talking about building a roller coaster, a water slide, or something in Miami Gardens. I feel like it's already in the works
Yep.
because the Dolphins have us going up and down, up. We don't know really what to expect. I know I wish our offensive line has to do better.
Yes.
Even getting Tua back, which you said we are supposed to get him back this week, right? So getting
Listen,
him
who's
back
back?
is going to be vital for that O line to really step up because the quarterback's life career is at risk.
Yeah.
So we got to shore up that O line. I don't know when is a deadline that maybe we can grab somebody. I don't know who we could sell off or trade off. But baby, we need some help on that line to make sure. You think about the numbers. Like everybody was getting on Teddy Bridgewater.
They were.
He had 300 and something yards, two
Yep.
touchdowns, two interceptions. Not necessarily both of them were his fault.
Yep.
Uh, so the numbers are there, and he didn't have the time. So can you imagine if he get the time? Like he could probably really do some damage. So I'm hoping they protect Tua so he doesn't get injured again.
All right, now I'm gonna take a whole different spin on it, right? Because fans are brutal, and if we, because Tua's a God fearing man, so if God is in the midst of it all, I'm gonna tell you about these fans. All for the years that Tua has been in the league, fans have been like, he's not good, he's not great. But I'm gonna tell you something. With Tua this season, we have been 3-0, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Sometimes God will remove. See, he'll have to remove
Yeah,
that
for you to
person
appreciate it. Yeah.
to show you the value. This is all I'm saying, fans. Y'all either on the boat or you're off the boat.
Off the boat.
Either I'm gonna get off the boat to get off the emotional roller coaster.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes God do that for you. And now they want Tua back. But y'all just said he couldn't throw down the field. He couldn't do XYZ. So, I'm just saying.
I mean, you got to also say this. Like, had Waddle not coughed that ball up, like, we have a different ball game. Like,
True story.
That could have been a W. And I'm not talking that Tua, could do whatever, but some of those things that are happening without Tua is not necessarily the quarterback's fault, the quarterbacks that were in there. I do think that, he made us, everybody was rallying, everybody was doing well. But I also feel like we were going to hit a wall at some point, whether he was still there or not, because our line just has to do better. The line, give him time, and he can't take those type of hits. So a lot of that, no matter who's on the other side of that, on the back of that ball, they got to give the people time and they got to protect him. And you don't see Tom Brady taking hits like that. Like, come on.
Yeah, there you go. When Tom Brady took the hit, they penalized the person that sacked him.
See what I'm saying?
That's just simple. Like, that's crazy. But hey, all right, this is what we're doing.
Can't even sack. Can't even
that's
sack.
why I'm on the emotional roller coaster. I'm gonna get off of it though. I'm gonna get off.
Yeah.
But without further ado, man, you know what? We're gonna bring up the legendary Pokey Chatman. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good, ladies. I'm just enjoying you guys going back from, you played, you coach, now you're on the fan side. I know you probably want to throw some hands on people. Emotional roller coaster. So it's just funny hearing that. Sound like people in my family. No, but I'm good. How you ladies doing?
Good, great, Coach. I'm so excited to have you, man. Awesome.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah. So we like to start everything off with allowing our guests to tell who they are in like 1 to 2 minutes. So you have the floor. Tell us who Pokey Chatman is in 1 to 2 minutes. However you get it, Coach, you got the floor.
I'm gonna try to stay one. Most people know Pokey. Most people know Pokey the coach, and that kind of brings us all together. Doesn't define me, but that's what people pay most attention to.
Hey.
But no, seriously, just I love the game. It's done a lot for me. I try not to cheat it. From playing it to coaching it, doesn't matter the position or the place, about making a big time where you are. I'm God-fearing. I like my family, my faith. I like to have a lot of fun because you guys know we work hard doing this crazy stuff, right? And you give a lot, and it's thankless. But no, I'm currently an assistant coach with the Seattle Storm. I had my first year there. Thoroughly enjoyed working with Noelle Quinn. She's a good one. And so just getting ready for the next season, our off season, getting ready for the college season, all this football, basketball. See that TV on back there. The Pelicans are playing at 6:30. So, just getting ready for that fun, to be a fan.
That's all right. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I'm a Pokey Chatman fan. I enjoy watching you coach, Sylvia Fowles, all those. I mean, I enjoyed all of that, Coach. I really at the Sky, like everything. I was just like, I really enjoyed watching you out there. Your passion for the game and for the player development, it is awesome. So tell us about like your journey, getting to where you are right now. Like some of the things I just named, but can you give us a little bit more about your journey, the journey of Coach Chatman?
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm at that age where Title IX was on the books, but nobody went to that chapter, right? So it was just there. So I had one foot in and out of each door. And, I can remember when I first took the job at LSU, people would say, you better get a real job, because back then it wasn't a real job, right? Go get your master's. And it wasn't what we're seeing now, Dawn Staley making multi-million dollars and stuff like that. But, so I kind of backed into it, and the WNBA wasn't there. So I had about a 5-year swing where I had an opportunity to work on some grad work, get a position in college. And I just enjoy the teaching aspect of it. You talked about the player development part. I was lucky to be in an AAU program that it was just basic fundamentals, hard work and stuff. And I got a little bit of that being in college. And then, 33 years later, I'm still doing it. And you said Sylvia. I spent a lot of time down in Miami Edison. Actually, Marie Ferdinand is on
Yep.
something tonight. The guy reached out to me, and so I mean, from Marie Ferdinand to Shalonda, Flo, Sil,
Yeah, he was down here.
lots of talent down there. So I'm most excited, proud, and happy and impacted by that part. Because you know how it is. You have a game that ends. People forget the score, but you
Mhm.
remember the impact that they made on you. And everybody think it's always us, but it's a two-way street. They impact us too. So just fortunate to have had that journey so many places.
Oh man, that's awesome. And I love one thing that you said when you were even just expressing who you were. You said, it's a thankless job.
Mm.
It's thankless. That just stuck with me and hit me because coaches don't get thanked for the time they put in, for the life skills, for the value, for everything that you as a coach pour into players. Every player doesn't come back and say thank you. Every parent doesn't come back and say thank you. The community doesn't come back and say thank you. So what you said, it just, man, that just stuck.
And I'm gonna qualify that. I was thinking about it initially from a fan standpoint, because if you think about it, like, it's my livelihood, it's their entertainment. So,
Mm. That's
you
it.
know, I got bills to pay. They just come in having a funky good time. But just and it's not why you do it. I mean, thankless in that it's over for them and you marinate in it.
Mhm.
I have been fortunate, to be with people from staffs, bosses, players that I've had the opportunity to come across that they may not appreciate at the time. They may not get it. Tamara Young, that she's always telling me. She said, "Boy," she said, "you used to go at me so hard," and I was like, "I don't even remember that." But years later, they appreciate it at the time. They just don't quite understand it. So players know they may not always admit. And look, we're not always good. I was young too. We're learning. We're learning along the way. So I just kind of meant thankless from the standpoint of it's their entertainment, it's our livelihood.
I love it. Love it.
I get it. Coach, tell us about this, like your transition or your crossover, I should say, from the collegiate field to the WNBA professional realm. Has that been a difficult one? Being that those ladies are they're kind of like on their own, or do they still need that guidance and that training as well?
You know, the piece that helped it not be as difficult was I went to Europe in between college and the WNBA. So I think that really helped me become a better coach. You got 7 different countries represented on your team. You're in a foreign land. You're learning that language because you don't want to be handcuffed or handicapped by not being able to communicate. So I was growing too, and I think that bridge helped me to not have as much, uncomfortable moments when I came over to the WNBA, because number one, I learned a lot. The pro game is so different, but also the European game is where our game is now.
Mm.
Everybody's running 5 out. People dribble drive. It's very offense oriented. Like I remember the first time I had a scouting report in Russia, they looked at me like, "What the hell is she doing? We ain't learning about no defense over here." you know. So I'm like, okay, they're probably on to something here. So I think that helped. But to your point, you look, you don't leave college and then 3 weeks later become a pro and know everything, right? And I think a lot of times people forget that. And I'm not talking about the basketball piece. That's the easiest part. It's the I'm on my own piece. We're not
Mm.
chartering piece. You about to be taking your own bags places. You got to know who FICA is.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, who is FICA? I'm like, Lord help me, Jesus. But it's that part. And like, I know we don't get like that's not we're we don't get credit for that. I don't want that credit, but like that's when you can impact somebody and you start talking to them about. I say, look, stop buying all these damn shoes, buy a house. You
Right.
know, all these Jordans and bags and stuff like that. So that impact, because it's so lasting, um, is the thing that's been the best for me. But the crossover to pro helped because of Europe and the elite players that were already abroad. They taught me a lot.
Wow, man. Our guests, I really hope you guys are paying attention because coach is at the top of her game, at the top of the coaching realm. And
Mhm.
she's saying she learned a lot. So, it's like you never stop learning no matter the level. That's key. Can you talk to them about what is it like to be in a championship caliber program, whether it be collegiate or professional? Because not everybody gets to experience that. How a program is successfully ran, different things that obstacles that you may have come across during those times.
Yeah, I go back to, LSU was a build to that, and everybody forgets about that, but you remember that because that was difficult, and it's a little bit easier to get there than to stay there, um, in that regard. And then when I went to Russia, they were already established, so
Mm.
I went into this environment, and you guys, I'm telling you, it was before they changed the foreign, number of foreign players on the team. Lauren Jackson, I was asked if I could come over 2 weeks earlier to train Lauren Jackson. I said, really? I said, yeah, I'm there, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like it was Lauren Jackson, it's Tina Thompson, Sue Bird, D, and I'm sitting here like this got to be a joke, right? But to be in that environment, with those people. So then I go. So now they expect to win. So they have a way about them. They come in there. They don't get in shape. They come in shape. They got their doctors. They eat different, blah blah blah. So that was good from college where we feed them 8 meals a day, to where these players are starting to get chefs and stuff like that. So then I go to Chicago where they hadn't won there. So I could take a little bit of the growth at LSU, the standard, and at Spartak. I said, okay, I got a little feel for this now. I just still didn't know a whole heck of a lot. I'm still figuring it out myself because that was the GM piece, right? And in that term. So I just think every step along the way, and that's why I'm so thankful and blessed that I was taught something that obviously helped my craft, but it helped me in life. It helped me to cross over anywhere because that's the goal, right? With your
Yeah.
kids or your players, like you want to be able to step in the boardroom, you want to step in the locker room,
Yeah.
you want to all of that. So that really helped me. And then the last piece, just recently in Seattle, like, come on, man. Listen, one time I went out there for the game and I said, I was just standing around 18,000 people. That place was bumping. Boy, I was like, I felt like I could go play for about two possessions on offense. But so sometimes when I get excited about stuff, I don't think people understand because I don't have a chance to qualify it. Like the places were different and tough and learning things, learn to speak a little Russian because you're over there and that goes a long way, so I think every place had a place that, impacted me.
Coach, you hit on something that I really want to talk about, and because I want our audience to really focus on what you said. It's a twofold thing. First, you said that first of all, you had the honor, the pleasure to coach greats like a Sue Bird, and you said Lauren, and these people came to camp in shape. They didn't get in shape, and then you talked about how they changed or they had a different type of dietary. They knew what they needed to put in their body to be able to perform optimally, right?
Right.
That part. And then what I want to hit on is, can we talk to these young ladies who are aspiring to be on that level as to what they need to do to be able to get there? Because everybody said they want to get there, but tell them about what it takes to really get there.
Yeah, and I started with those because that was the first group of elite pros that I had been around, right? And
Right.
like if you were to ask them today, Sue would probably say, dude, I hadn't figured it out. But she was so far ahead of what I knew. And maybe that was coming from a different place. I say it's because she's a point guard, I kind of lean heavy there. But it was that. And then they start figuring out ways to save their, I don't want to say save their, it's like tires, it's like treads on a tire. You got to find ways to save that. And then the piece that's become really big the last, I want to say maybe 10 years is the dietary piece, not weight, because we finally got past weight, right? Because we're all different. I can remember I started with a suburb. I remember when I was in Indiana, Erica Wheeler, she had a chef. And it wasn't somebody who could now he would, hook her up with some good stuff as well, but it was more about being on schedule and clean and so
Mhm.
to me, like that's the from Stu Bird in 2007 to Wheeler in 2017 and seeing how it's transcended everybody and they
Right.
figure it out because it helps you sleep better, recover better, the whole nine. And the last piece of that is you mentioned in your intro about the player development piece. Um, Listen, I can remember in hiring a staff, if you didn't have a player development bone in your body, I didn't want you on my staff because
Mm.
the WNBA season, by the time mid June gets around, you're practicing like an hour and 10 minutes. So it's the player development piece, right? And it's just 15, 20 minutes a day. And the kid, look, I'm not talking about trying to do a 180 or 720, all this crazy. I'm talking about basic basketball stuff, right?
Mhm.
And that's what I've noticed in these players in the last 7, 8 years that they're committed to that. And I think that helps them separate themselves.
Man, coach, I mean, when you just said what you said and you talking about elite level players and you said they're not trying to do a 180 or a 720. They are sticking to the basics. That is so key because we see a lot of these trainers, these new trainers that, I don't know where they get the drills from, but they have these kids doing so many different things and the kids are not getting what they need, which is the fundamentals.
Mhm.
Can you speak to that? Because you said Russia called you to come over to train Lauren Jackson 2 weeks prior to. They
Right.
called you to come train her, not some fly by on the street person. This is you who has a reputation in the basketball world, knows what you're doing. They're not just picking anybody to that part about picking a trainer because a lot of people are doing it now.
Yeah, and I know there's layers and levels to it, and I know there's a piece where like everything not for everybody, right? And I think sometimes we know that as coaches, and sometimes it take us a little while to figure out as a player because we mad, we want what she want,
Mhm.
25 minutes a game, but you ain't ready for that. But
Right.
also in the training community, and I'm not saying that there could be a percentage of play during that development piece where you working on next level stuff because your ability warrants that, right? But
Mhm.
sometimes I just need you to be able to handle the ball under pressure and feed the post and get in the split game, right? Like you working on a jumper, and that's fine. But like that's to me that's the expectation. Like of course you're gonna get shots up. I
Yeah.
had somebody that they wanted to shoot threes, and I'm sitting there like, okay, for every 5,000 you practice, you can shoot one in my practice. She looked at me
Ooh.
like, now
5,000.
I was trying to make a point,
Yeah,
right? Like you can't be
understood.
practicing your game on my watch. And I only said that it wasn't really about me. It was about this what you have to do. And I'm telling you, I've been around some players that because they had that work ethic, they lasted in the league. They got the job done. And maybe it wasn't pretty, but they had that mindset. And today, I'm not involved in the youth movement, so I can't really speak on it. I just know that I hear from people. A lot of coaches in college are frustrated, like, Coca, I can't raise my voice at these kids.
Yeah.
They'll jump in the portal thing and be gone. I'm like, oh wow.
Coach said a portal thing.
I'm saying, look, I'm telling you, a couple of years ago, that's all they were talking about. They're pulling their hair out, and I'm like you just gotta do the best with what you have and do the right thing, and then at night, peace be still. That's
Yeah.
all you can do. All you
Yeah.
can do.
Hey, Maurice, Coach Mo said everybody wants to win, but very few are willing to do what it takes to win. And that's true. Yeah, a lot of kids they want to win, but getting in there, like I know you were just, exaggerating a bit with the 5,000, but I see your point. When you come in here and put up those extra shots, then you can come in and talk about the shot that you want to take in the game. And a lot of kids don't get that, putting in that work that earns you, and that the great Kobe Bryant, like so many things you could take from his work ethic. He put in that work. So somebody quoted him, or he said that I take the last shot because I was in here putting in the work. I was in the gym shooting. So I'm gonna take. I don't have a problem with
Right.
taking that
Right.
last shot. So that's what it's about, putting in that work and doing those things that you need to do to earn the ability to get those minutes and to take that shot, you know?
And the thing is this, like, and I know you guys know this, but maybe somebody who's listening, we have a tendency to think it's about putting up shots on the offensive end of the floor. Now, don't get me wrong, you ain't gonna go in and work on no defensive slides. I know that, but like film work is a part of it, right? Watch a little bit of film on yourself.
Yeah.
Watch basketball. You would be amazed at, I mean, how many kids, I mean, you guys won't, you coach, like how many don't even watch. And I'm sitting here like, I'm mad because my Abbott Elementary gonna get kicked out because I'm coaching, I'm recording another game, right? I'm trying to record all these games that's coming on. I'm gonna miss Abbott Elementary, but like they don't watch.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about, hours of video, like even if it's just 3 minutes of clips where we sit and talk, tell me what you see.
Right.
So, the goal is this. We want the student to become the teacher.
Yep.
And once they know that, then their whole mind would change.
Yeah. I like that. Watch clips. You don't have to watch a full. If you just get on YouTube and just watch some clips of different things, it'll help you understand the concept a little bit better. Just a little bit
Correct.
better. Yeah.
I agree.
Coach, how has basketball impacted your life on and off the court?
Man, look. Even when I was home, fired with no job, I was living the dream. I don't even. It's 30 something years. Like, and it's not about money, although we need it and I like it. But it's like I'm sitting there like I go to all these countries. I get to coach all these players. I learn their culture. I learn a lot about myself. And I think, and you guys know this, like because we played, because we were in leadership positions, we were part of a team. We did pretty good during the pandemic, right? We've been in isolation. We've been
Mm-hmm.
solo. We know
Yep.
the group. We got a little, and like I just think about that part. Now the next piece is it provided a living for me, you know, but it also provides a living that kind of boomerangs back to me when a player asks you to be the godmother of their baby, or they send you an invitation to their wedding, and you first of all you think, "Damn, I'm getting old." Right? That's the first thing. But then it's that for me. It's taken me a lot of places. I got to coach the Slovakian national team, and then I sent a message to Swin and Spoon today, and I'm thinking, I live in New Orleans, and they're both with the Pelicans, and I think about how the world has brought these two phenomenal Black women,
Mm-hmm.
right around the corner, and they're behind the scenes and they're out front and leading a franchise these last few years. And it just makes you proud because that's what it's given to me, those relationships in different areas of the world with some pretty amazing people.
Hey, I tell you what, basketball it's like an airplane or a spaceship. It has taken us from the ground level in our lives. I know for me, and just catapulted me in a different atmosphere. I'm not saying that life couldn't have given me something, but I'm so proud and happy to have been introduced to this game. So I know you feel the same way. It's taking you to different countries. It's allowed you the opportunity to bless different people. These young ladies, like you say, when you get the wedding invitations and the godmother, invites or requests, you know that you made a big impact. And let's go to this next phase about that's your legacy. What does your legacy mean to you? Like, you've touched so many lives. The Pokey Chatman legacy. What does that mean to you?
Wow. I guess I need to think about this because I'm gonna get to that age where people are gonna start asking me that. Like, oh man, you kind of got it's really more about I want them to say she was fair. Um, she worked really, really hard, and I kind of showed them the way, and not just the basketball route. I think we all can do that. What we have to take on, in our world, in leading the basketball world in the big world. And because there's always a little something extra. I just hope that they'll say I worked hard, fair, and I positively impacted them, and it was a meaningful relationship and a meaningful encounter. That it wasn't just Let me see what you can do for me now. Be gone, and that's important, to me as well.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome because basketball for sure has connected us all. Because I've never met you in person, Coach, but I reached out to you and asked you about the podcast, and you gladly accepted, and that I'm grateful for. I grew up watching you coaching, and Carla as well. It's just like it's like that basketball just connects so many people in so many ways, and we all speak the same language when it comes to it. It's
Yeah.
it's amazing.
And that's why I responded immediately, because it was kind of cute, because it's like I I'm like, I don't know you guys personally, but like, y'all balled, right? Y'all balled in the conference, you balled in the ACC. Katie, Katie was at Tulane years ago, and just following us. So it was interesting, the introduction. I'm like, well, they need to know we pay attention to those that came and are doing great things.
Hey,
I,
that's the thing, Coach. Pay attention. That's the car
I
thing
was
right
gonna
there.
ask you about I was gonna ask you about that hoodie. I wrote that down. I was like, I like that hoodie.
Coach,
Because
I'm gonna have to get you one. I'm gonna have to get you one. I got you.
I gotta work. But no, it does. And I tell people all the time, there's 3 degrees of separation in basketball. We can pick up the phone, call somebody, and we can kind of figure out whatever we need. And that's what I love about it. It's a big community of help and resources.
Yeah, like Coach Mo said, the 28.5 round ball has changed lives. It has connected lives. It's like a family, a sisterhood of, I understand where you've been through and what you played the game. Okay, I know where you're coming from. I
Yep.
understand what you're going, where you're going in life and what you've been through. So yeah, definitely love that ball has really connected us. Again, I've been a fan of everything that you've been able to do with the game, and wish you nothing but the best to continue with that. What's next for Coach Chatman? Like what's next? We're gonna stay with the Storm, or what are we looking to do?
Yeah, it's kind of, well, there's never a dead time, but I think in terms of next year, you got to start getting ready to build the roster. The difference is, I'm an assistant coach now, so I actually don't have to go home with that big headache. you know, listen, I'm seriously, a friend of mine, I was talking to him. I've been knowing him for like 37 years. He's in DC, and he's asking me questions about free agency, and I'm like, well, I don't know yet. What you mean you don't know? And he thought I was being coy, and I said, first of all, it's October, so anything I say is speculative. And I
Yeah.
said, second of all, and I said, that's not my lead, you know? And I say that tongue in cheek and joking, and that, but when you're in an organization that knows success, knows what they want and who they want, you can be okay with it, right? And I'm not just talking about the suits, I think about Noe. I mean, I coached Noelle in Russia. She and Sue were on the same team together with me, but she was also, UCLA, and from over in just from the AAU USA basketball. So you got the brass and the basketball mind that's not sleeping at night, so I can sleep at night. So that's the plan. Things don't really start officially till like January 1, but I'm sure there'll be some posture in the next couple of months, trying to shore some things up.
Coach, talk about that series with the Las Vegas Aces, because I was locked in. I'm an alumni for Las Vegas, so I had to cheer it on. But Sue Bird was on her last season, her farewell tour.
Right.
But that series with you guys and in the season that the Storm had was phenomenal. Just talk about that and the build up into that with the Aces.
Yeah, it was fun. I don't know any other way to say it. And you guys can appreciate this because it's a 12-team league. So there ain't no secrets. We all know what everybody's going to run. So the game is won after timeout, after free throw. The game is won when they sub and you changed up a scheme. Oh man, we've been ice switching all this time. Now we're going to veer. So it's still in about 5 to 6 possessions a game. And so it's funny, that's when you listen to commentators saying all this stuff and we're like, okay, yeah. But it's really not, because it's not 30 plus teams, it's that. And that was fun because the respect that those players have for themselves, the game, and each other. Like it's amazing because you see it. I'm like, damn, she just dropped 28 on us, and you can't get mad at it,
Right.
because you've seen the work they put in. You know how they're doing it. So it was fun until we got our ass beaten, and now it wasn't fun anymore. But it really was, because it's a chess match, and I'm friends with Becky. We go way back. I coached her in Russia as well. She was, back in 2015 or 16 when she was on pop staff. I would go down there for training camp, so we're close, and so it's that part too. Her staff, Charlene, and all that. So it was a fun series, and what we forget about you guys is that we're so in it, and everybody you would talk to, like, oh my God. My sister said, "I don't even drink. I wanted a drink." That's what she said. She said, "Oh Lord, I'm tired." We don't feel that. We're like grinding, but it was nice to have that feedback and the new fans that really enjoyed our game.
Absolutely.
Hey, a new season without Sue Bird. That's got to be something. I know you say it's early. I get it. It's early, but I know that's definitely something on the forefront of your guys' mind, the organization's mind, about how you guys maneuver now. And I don't draft picks. Do you have to go out and scout the college games, or look at like you said, the guy asked you about the transitions or the transactions or movement of players. But I know that's going to be a big thing for the Storm next year.
Listen, I think the position is just a big thing. And I know I joke about it a lot of times, but like it's everything. And it's sacred. So you have to, and then it's quadruple because it is Sue, who's been in the system for 20 years. And so then, and you think about, Noelle, and she played at Seattle. She was offensive coordinator there, so then she transitioned because she's going to change some things as well. So I think that's actually the fun, exciting part. But like you said, yeah, I mean, there's so few and far between that can keep you at that level. That'll keep you, up at night. But that's going to be a pivotal piece for us for sure. Because then also Breon January retired, so it was 2 point guards. Yeah, that part. That part. So yeah, I'll talk about that right now. It's too early.
Yeah, there we go.
It's really not too early. I'm joking. It's really not. I'm just saying.
I know it's on the forefront, but yeah. I mean, I don't know if everybody know, but Coach is a point guard. You got Takara a point guard. Like, it's point guard heavy tonight. Are you so? I know I heard what you just said. Like, the position is like everything. So are you saying that because that's your position? Or are you saying that because as a coach, you really believe that is the anchor of the team?
No, just because it's my position. Just kidding. No, no, because I mean, it's like the quarterback. They just don't get paid what quarterbacks get paid. But I say that because it sounds so corny, right? But they really are an extension of you. And you don't lose possessions if y'all on the same page, or they can pick up things. I have to wait till TV timeout. So, and then also it's important because, I'm not going to talk about it. You guys know that because the game is changing and evolving, right? So they got to be ahead of that. Then they got to be on par with you. Then they got to take your crap because you're going at them, right? Like,
right.
And that's the thing about it. The thing about with these pros, I joke about it. Like, I don't know if I had to raise my voice one time because look, that's their livelihood. You ain't got to tell them to go hard.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "What's their curfew?" I said, "What's that?" Damn curfew. They have family come to town and say, "Look, y'all got to get a hotel. I need my rest." Like, and I like that about them. They're true pros that put their craft at the top of the list.
Right. That's awesome. Coach, so before we let you go, we got a question for you. What would you tell a young athlete that's striving to make it to the next level? What would be 3 things that you would tell them as words of advice or wisdom?
3 things. I think sometimes they have to be clear on what the next level is. The next level might just be your left hand or your jumper, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That part. But then also the next level has to be the emotional and intellectual piece. Mm-hmm. Like, nobody talks about that until it's a problem. Yep. And I'm not talking about, I really do believe that's important. And then the second thing is that we forget sometimes that we played AAU, the junior high school, college, that we have so many people at our fingertips, but we're afraid to ask, right?
Mm.
I mean, I can go through an encyclopedia, what to do and how to do and when to do, but like, first of all, do you, boo? That's number one, because know thyself, right? And I'm saying this now because I think I was okay with it, but if you're better at it at an earlier age, because sometimes we see the handwriting on the wall, right? But we just don't want to read it. We don't like it, right? So it's that piece, and then it's the totality of you, and just use people that like we make that a bad thing. No, use me. I'm okay with that. So we kind of make it a bad thing and just to encourage them. But the thing that would tie that together is find a mentor, someone that you can pour into. Like I'm telling you guys, I've had a few people reach out to me over the years, and then when you see them succeed, and
Yeah.
success might not be confetti, it might just be the job that they wanted. It might not even be in basketball, like it matters, but get a
Mhm.
mentor and use them. That's important.
Love it.
I love it, Coach. Hey, so we have what we call the hot cross zone, Coach. It's our last
Oh,
segment, but we're gonna give you 5 quick questions. Just 5 quick questions. I already know the answer to one of them, but we're
okay.
gonna ask it anyway. So the first question, you ready, Coach? It's real,
I'm
real
ready.
simple stuff, no stress. So number one, you in New Orleans, and I'm sure it's probably. But what's your favorite food?
Oh man, if I had to pick one thing, shrimp any type of way, fried last. I
Okay,
love my shrimp.
all
Yeah.
right.
And raw oysters, shrimp and raw oysters.
Shrimp and raw. I remember saying you in New Orleans. I know some oysters got to be in there somewhere. All right.
Every week.
Wait, okay, let me ask you this. Who has the best ones? The Acme, Drago? Who has the best one?
It depends on what you like. The thing about it is the water here is like 75, 6 degrees all year round. So many people get them. And
Yeah.
what I've learned is that people that come from out of town, they don't really want them raw. They want Rockefeller, Bienville with
Yeah.
some
The
Parmesan and
char
all that.
grill.
So yeah, so the experience, Dragos, it's good. Acme, Felix, there's a ton of them. Some little dives right around here. I sent somebody in Seattle a picture that they were 75 cents at happy hour. And they were like, what?
What?
They're like $4 for one little, you know, damn
Yeah.
oyster that look like a pearl. It's so small. But yeah,
I had to ask you because I love New Orleans food, so I had to ask you that. All right. So dessert or no dessert?
no dessert.
No dessert. All right. We getting ready for the game. So look, are you looking to play a fast game, Coach? Or are you going slow? You going half court? Or are you putting the press on? You going up and down? Transition.
Yes, all day, every day, all day, every day.
All right, so we pretty much know this answer, but I gotta ask it. So, putting a team together, who you picking first? Your point guard or your post player, your center? I already know.
And the first person I picked when I took my first job in the WNBA was Courtney Vandersloot,
PG baby.
point guard.
Okay.
Just saying,
You gotta
just
start there.
saying.
Like you said, it's gotta be an extension of you. All right. And last thing, so we got this upcoming basketball season about to tip off for the college. We know the pros just tipped off. Collegiate game is about to start, which is my favorite. I love to watch college basketball. So who do you think wins the 2023 national championship for the ladies?
Man, I'm not betting against Dawn.
No.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, right.
And
So,
listen, and I haven't even been down there yet. I usually go down there around this time, and I say that because of course know her, but and it's not because I'm her friend. It's out of respect in watching the growth of her and her players and her program. I just think she's gonna be really good again.
Yep.
again, see the
Agreed.
change of the guard has really taken place to me. We saw that shift in that what we call the UConn era and all that. So I'm definitely excited. I believe South Carolina. That's my vote too. I really love what she's doing there. I love the
She's
atmosphere.
winning
She's winning.
Yes.
I mean, and she's
everywhere.
also using her right, coach, everywhere. She's
You
using
know
her
what I mean?
platform to really get out there for women's basketball. Her voice is being used. I follow her on Twitter, and I see the people with the banner, and she just comes back with some of the most brilliant comments. I love it. I love it.
Because
So
here's what you can't deny. Like you have to be willing to do that work. Like there's a reason she has multiple cell phones. It's not, she ain't texting her friends. She's
Yeah.
growing the basketball community to help other people. She good, right?
Yeah.
So she could just pack it up and chill. I went there last year. I was at her house and I'm like, she was up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, good night. I'm going, but like, and sometimes it's the things that you read about, but then I'm gonna tell you, and help, they're gonna see it. It was Halloween. You know why she was up at 2 in the morning? Stuffing bags of candy so she can give to players, staff. It was all in her house. Like, come on, man. But you didn't see that. You didn't see that on Twitter, right? You didn't. She didn't have to do
Right.
that. Nobody knows that. And like, that's the piece. It is hard work, and I think that's why they get a little bit mad at her, because, like, man, look, you can't hush that hard work.
Right. You can't. And she don't even care. So she just like,
No.
I don't care what you say. And that's great, man. Coach, I thank you from the bottom of my heart so much for accepting the invite. Always
Yes.
welcome on the show. Continue success to you. We really appreciate you tonight.
Thank
Yeah.
you, guys, and thank you for what you're doing. Like that, the reason why I immediately responded, because you can just feel a vibe from the way you guys sent me like, I wish I got this every day from people doing what you're doing. So y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Be an example. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
that.
you. Appreciate you, Coach. And
All
thank
right.
you for joining us tonight. You have a good one. I know you about to watch the Pelicans. We gonna
I
catch the
am.
heat.
I am. Good luck to you guys. And look, take it down now. Don't worry about them fans. Don't get on that roller coaster.
I got you. I gotta do
All
better.
right.
The
All
point
right.
guard
Y'all
gotta
be
do
good.
better.
Y'all be good.
Thank you,
Take care.
Coach.
All right, Coach.
Appreciate you.
Ciao.
All right. Good
Ciao.
night.
Good night.
Man, listen. Go.
Goat. Yeah, we had a
Go.
goat. We had a goat. Yeah,
Go. That's all
definitely
I'm gonna
for
say, man.
sure.
I mean, you know what? It just keeps getting better and better and better. And I'm just thankful that we're able to touch the people that we are able to touch, and bring on the people that we are able to bring on. And I'm telling you, when it comes to success, they're saying the same things. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They are saying the same things, but I just so ecstatic about her coming on and chopping it up with us and letting us pick her brain.
Right. I mean, T, you say it every day. You pay attention. You stay consistent. You do. And when we come from a place of sincerity, really good vibrations, nothing but blessings. God honors that work. He honors that faithfulness. He honors that truthfulness to the people. They don't see how we start this. We pray before every show.
Every
And
show.
part of that prayer is just about being edifying to the people. So as long as we're doing the giving back and we're not doing it out of self, we're really here to help the people to grow. Somebody listened tonight, got great tips from a pro, from a legend, from a GOAT, and all the other guests that we brought on who have experienced some of the things that a lot of people want to experience. And like you said, they're all consistent in that. The hard work, the dedication, the discipline. It's a consistent vibe about what success is.
Yeah, man. Listen, I was so excited about her being on the show. I forgot to put our intro on. That's how
All right,
excited.
all right. Hey, T, you just like, I was like, wait a minute, we on?
Hey, that's too funny. Hey, that's how me and PG dropped the ball, baby.
That's all right. Hey,
Wow.
PG, but you give up assists. You came back with more assists. So it's sometimes you get a turnover,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
throw more assists. So that's the ratio that we're going with. Hey, Mo, we appreciate you. What you say? She has made every program better wherever, definitely wherever she's been. She came down to Miami and racked up at Miami Edison.
She named five.
Yeah,
Five. I
yeah.
think she named 4 or 5 players.
And
And
those were
all of
some
them was from Edison.
real studs. They were some players. Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
All of them was from Edison, man. Starting with Marie Fernandez. I had the pleasure of playing with Marie in San Antonio my rookie season, and phenomenal person. Linked up with her again at the Aces alumni weekend. So man, basketball is truly a blessing.
Yeah,
Truly.
I love what he said. That 28.5, that 28.5 round ball is really, really something. It's been a blessing to so many of us.
Yep. So hey, with that being said, everybody, I know Heat Nation is on, and I know everybody want to catch the game. So we're gonna do that. See, enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
hey, Coach Brandon, we miss you too. I'll keep my eyes out. I'm paying attention just from afar. From
Yeah,
afar.
be paying attention. Yeah. Hey, y'all be blessed. Remember, use the game. Don't let the game use you. Till next time.
Have a good one.